What's up, geeks? My name is OMGWTF LOLFTWBRB, and welcome to Suprocker Saturday. If you are unfamiliar with what Suprocker Saturday is, well, it's one of the days of the week that I choose to play really any game that I want, such as the ongoing series we've been doing for quite a long time, the arcade playthroughs of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. This time around, I decided to do a little bit of an Avengers team. Well, not a little bit. It is the Avengers team. I'm going to be playing as Captain America with a shield, whatever it's called. Iron Man, of course, on the same team. And I could go with Thor or Hulk, but I chose to go with good old Hawkeye. Mainly due because I actually play Hawkeye a little bit, and I don't know how to play Iron Man and Captain America too much. Also, an ongoing thing I like to do during these series is give information on the character I'm playing as. And that character, well, the character I defeat Galactus with. And that character this time around will be good old Captain America. Captain America is an American fictional character, a superhero who appears in comic books published... Hold on, something just popped up on my computer. Okay. Who appears in comic books published by Marvel Comics. The character first appeared in Captain America Comics #1. Whoa, wait, hold on. Captain America Comics #1 from Marvel Comics, 1940s predecessor Tim Lee Comics, and was created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. As of 2007, an estimated 210 million copies of Captain America comic books have been sold in 75 countries. For nearly all of the character's publication history, Captain America has the alter ego of Steve Rogers, a frail young man who was enhanced to the peak of human perfection by experimental serum in order to aid the United States government's efforts to win World War II. Captain America wears on a costume that bears an American flag motif and is armed with an indestructible boomerang-like shield that can be... I got hiccups, this sucked. That can both be thrown as a weapon and defend against other weapons. An intentionally patriotic creation who was often depicted fighting the Axis powers of World War II, Captain America was Tim Lee Comics' most popular character during the 1940s wartime period. After the war ended, the character's popularity warned, and the comic had been discontinued by 1950 aside from the ill-fated 1950 revival. Captain America was reintroduced by Marvel Comics during the Silver Age of comics as an MIA soldier retrieved from an iceberg and awakened from suspended animation by the superhero team The Avengers in The Avengers #4 in March 1964. Since then, Captain America has often led the team as well as starring in his own series. Steve Rogers was purportedly assassinated in Captain America Volume 5, number 25 in March 2007, although he was later revealed to be alive. The comic book series Captain America continued to be published, with Rogers' former sidekick James Bucky Barnes having taken up the mantle until Rogers eventually assumed the role. Captain America was the first Marvel comic character adapted into another medium with the release of the 1944 movie serial Captain America. Since then, the character has been featured in several other films and television series, including Chris Evans' portrayal in Captain America: The First Avenger, released on July 22, 2011, and The Avengers, released on May 24, 2012, in 2011. Captain America was ranked 6th on IGN's Top 100 comic book heroes. Captain America has no superhuman powers, but through the Super Soldier Serum and Vita Ray treatment, he is transformed, and his strength, endurance, agility, speed, reflexes, durability, and healing are in the zenith of natural human potential. Rogers' body regularly replenishes at the Super Soldier Serum. It does not wear off. The formula enhances all of his metabolic functions and prevents the buildup of fatigue poisonous in his muscles, giving him endurance far in excess of an ordinary human being. This accounts for many of his extraordinary feats, including bench pressing 12,000 pounds, 545 kilograms, and running a mile, 1.6 kilometers, in 73 seconds, 49 miles per hour, 78 something, I don't know, kph. I don't know why I mentioned that stuff. Furthermore, his enhancements are the reason why he is able to survive being frozen in suspended animation for decades. He is highly restrained to hypnosis or gases that could limit his focus. The secrets of creating... Where was I? The secrets of creating the Super Soldier were lost in the death of its creator, Dr. Abraham Erskine. In the ensuing decades, there have been numerous attempts to recreate Erskine's treatments, only to have them end in failure. Even worse, the attempts have instead often created psychopathic supervillains, of which Captain America's 1950s imitator and Nuke are the most notorious examples. Rogers' battle experience and training makes him an expert tactician, and an excellent field commander. With his teammates frequently deferring to his orders in battle, Thor has stated Rogers is one of the very few humans he will take orders from and follow through the gates of Hades. Rogers' reflexes and senses are extraordinarily keen. He has blended judo, western boxing, kickboxing, gymnastics, and his own unique fighting style, and is a master of multiple martial arts. Years of practice with his near-indestructible shield make him able to aim and throw it with almost unerring accuracy. His skill with his shield is such that he can attack multiple targets in succession with a single throw, or even... My phone keeps beeping and it distracts me. Or even cause a boomerang-like return from a throw to attack an enemy from behind. In canon, he is regarded by other skilled fighters as one of the best hand-to-hand combatants in the Marvel Universe. Limited only by his human physique, although the Super Soldier Serum is an important part of his strength, Rogers has shown himself still sufficiently capable against other opponents, even when the serum has been deactivated, reverting him to pre-Captain America physique. Rogers has a vast U.S. military knowledge and is often shown to be familiar with ongoing classified Defense Department operations. He's an expert in combat strategy, survival acrobatics, military strategy, piloting, and demolitions. Wow, I'm so dumb. Despite his high profile as one of the world's most popular and recognizable superheroes, Roger has a broad understanding of the espionage community, largely through his ongoing relationship with S.H.I.E.L.D. He is a talented artist and has worked on the Captain America comic book published in the Marvel Universe. Other career fields... What did I just read? There's a Captain America comic book in the Marvel Universe? Okay. Other career fields include commercial arts, teaching high school history, and law enforcement. Although he lacks superhuman strength, Captain America is one of the few mortal beings who has been deemed worthy enough to wield Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. Captain America uses several shields throughout his history, the most prevalent of which is a nigh-indestructible disc-shaped shield made from an experimental alloy of steel and fictional vibranium. The shield was cast by American metallurgist Dr. Myron McLean, who was contacted by the U.S. government from orders of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt to create an impermeable substance to use for tanks during World War II. This alloy was created by accident and never duplicated, although efforts to reverse engineer resulted in the discovery of adamantium. Captain America often uses his shield as an offensive throwing weapon. The first instance of Captain America's trademark ricocheting shield toss occurs in Stan Lee's first comics writing the two-page text story Captain America Foils the Traitor's Revenge in Captain America's Comics #3 in May 1941. The legacy of the shield among other comic characters include the time-traveling mutant superhero Cable telling Captain America that his shield still exists in one of the possible futures. Cable carries it into battle and brandishes it as a symbol. When without his trademark shield, Captain America sometimes uses other shields made from less durable metal such as steel, or even a photonic energy shield designed to mimic the vibranium matrix. Rogers, having relinquished his regular shield to Barnes, carried a variant of the energy shield which can be used with either arm and used to either block attacks or as an improvised offensive weapon, able to cut through metal with relative ease. Much like his vibranium shield, the energy shield can be thrown, including ricocheting off multiple surfaces and returning to his hand. Captain America's uniform is made of a fire retardant material, and he wears a lightweight bulletproof beryllium scale armor beneath his uniform for added protection. Originally, Rogers' mask was a separated piece of metal, but an early engagement had it dislodged, thus almost exposing his identity. To prevent a reoccurrence of the situation, Roger modified the mask with connecting material to his uniform, and added benefit of which was extending his armor to cover his previously exposed neck. As a member of the Avengers, Rogers has an Avengers Priority Card which serves as a communications device. Captain America has used custom specialized motorcycle modified by the S.H.I.E.L.D. Weapons Laboratory, as well as a custom-built battle van constructed by the Wakanda Design Group with the ability to change its color to disguise purposes, red, white, and blue, and fitted to the store and conceal the custom motorcycle in its rear section with a frame that allows Rogers to launch from the vehicle riding gate. Whew! Lots of information there. Captain America has been in the following TV series that I could at least find out. In 1960, he was in the TV animated series Marvel Superheroes. In 1970, he was in the television films Captain America and Captain America 2, Death Too Soon. In 1980, he was a guest star in one episode of Spider-Man. He was a guest star in 2 episodes of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. He also appeared in a 1980 public service announcement on energy conservation in which he battled the thermal thief, the wattage waster, and the cold air crook. Okay. In 1980, he was in one episode of the X-Men, 3 episodes of Spider-Man. He was in the Fantastic Four series a couple times also. He was in 1 episode of the Avengers United They Stand. In the 1990s, a planned Captain America animated series from Saban Entertainment proposed the idea of Captain America's true name was Tommy Tompkins, with Steve Rogers being a cover name assigned to him by the U.S. Army. Also appearing in the series was the Red Skull as the main antagonist. In 2000, he appeared in 1 episode of X-Men Evolution, the first episode and only 1 episode of the animated series Black Panther, and the Superhero Squad show. In 2010, he appears in the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. He has appeared in 1 episode so far of Ultimate Spider-Man, and he will appear in the upcoming series on Disney XD, The Avengers Assemble. So, he's been in a couple films. He was in a 1944 film titled Captain America, and he was played by Dick Purcell. He was in the 1990 film Captain America and was played by Matt Salinger. And he has been in Captain America the First Avenger in 2011, The Avengers in 2012, and he will be in Captain America the Winter Soldier in 2014, and will be played by Chris Evans. He has been in many games. The first game he ever was in was Captain America in the Doom Tube of Dr. Megaloman in 1987, Spider-Man and Captain America in Dr. Doom's Revenge in 1989, Captain America and the Avengers in 1991, Marvel Superheroes, Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage, Avengers and Galactic Storm, Spider-Man and Venom Separation Anxiety, Marvel Superheroes War of Gems, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects. He had a cameo in the PlayStation 2, but he was playable in the PSP. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, Marvel Superhero Squad, Marvel Superhero Squad The Infinity Gauntlet. He had a costume in Little Big Planet, Captain America The First Avengers, Marvel Superhero Squad, Marvel Superhero Squad Comic Combat. He was briefly mentioned in Spider-Man Edge of Time. He's in the Facebook game Marvel Avengers Alliance. He's mentioned in The Amazing Spider-Man. He's in the MMORPG Marvel Heroes. He's in Captain America Sentinel of Liberty, which I believe is a iOS game. He's in Marvel Avengers Battle for Earth. And he's also in the Avengers Initiated. He will be in Lego Marvel Superhero. The following people are the guys who have done his voices. So in the Marvel Superheroes animated series in 1966, he was voiced by Arthur Pierce and Sandy Becker. In Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends in 1981, George DeCenzo and Wataru Takejigi, I don't know who that is, George DeCenzo did his English voice and Wataru Takejigi did his Japanese voice. In Spider-Man in 1981, George DeCenzo, the same guy who did it in The Amazing Friends, did the voice of Captain America. In X-Men in 1992, Lawrence Bane did this voice. Apologize for everyone in the background. Apparently everyone likes to talk when I record. In Spider-Man 1994, he was voiced by David Hayter in his English voice. His Japanese voice was voiced by Taru Akawa. European French was Jarel Sergu. And his Polish voice was Wojciech Pazłowski. Oh, fucking no. In The Avengers United They Stand in 1999, he was voiced by Dan Chamori. In X-Men Evolution in 2000, he was voiced by David Hayter. In Spider-Woman Agents of S.W.O.R.D. in 2009, he was voiced by Jeffrey Hadquist. In the Superhero Squad show in 2009, he is voiced by Tom Kenny. In Black Panther in 2010, he is voiced by Adrian Pastar. In the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes in 2010, he is voiced by Brian Bloom as his English voice, and Masahiro Oskawasaki is his Japanese voice. In Ultimate Spider-Man in 2012, he is voiced by Roger Craig Smith. And in the upcoming Avengers Assemble TV series in 2013, he's also voiced by Roger Craig Smith. The following movies, he has been voiced by Justin Gross in both Ultimate Avengers 1 and Ultimate Avengers 2 Rise of the Black Panther in 2006. In video games, Cal Dude has voiced Captain America in Marvel Superheroes the video game in 1995, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter in 1997, Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes in 1998, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes in 2000. In Spider-Man in 2000, he was voiced by Darren Norris. In Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 in 2006, he was voiced by Trev Brody. In Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 in 2009, he was voiced by David Kay. The following games, he was voiced by Tom Kenny. Marvel Superhero Squad the video game in 2009, Marvel Superhero Squad the Infinity Gauntlet in 2010, Marvel Superhero Squad Online in 2011, and Marvel Superhero Squad Comic Combat in 2011. In Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Fate of Two Worlds, and the Ultimate version of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, both released in 2011, he is voiced by Brian Bloom. In Captain America's Super Soldier, and released in 2011, he is voiced by Chris Evans. In the Avengers Battle for Earth in 2012, he is voiced by Roger Craig Smith. Brian Bloom voices him in Marvel Superheroes 4D, which is a ride or attraction. Don't ask me where, I don't know. And he also has a Robot Chicken voice in 2005, but I could not find the voice actor for him. So the following are his interactions with characters in this game. His pre-fight dialogues and intros. When he starts off against Zero, he says, "Your name is Zero, hope you don't fight like one." Versus MODOK, which we saw earlier, he says, "There's only one way to deal with a maniac like you." Versus Spencer, "Metal parts don't make a man, it's what's inside that counts." Against all villains except for MODOK and Taskmaster, he says, "Surrender is your only option." When he faces Thor, he said, "I never thought it would come to this, Avenger." Iron Man, he says, "You think I'm going to go down to some pampered punk like you?" And with any combination of Hawkeye, Thor, and or Iron Man, he says, "Avengers assemble." And with Taskmaster, he says, "I'm sorry, but who are you?" When he starts off with Hawkeye, he says, "You always wanted to prove you're better than me. Now is your chance." Against Frank West, he says, "I hear you covered wars. Pity you've never actually fought in one." Strider Hero, he says, "You remind me of Batroc the Leaper, which means you don't stand a chance." His call names for characters when he, calls them out for assist. For Iron Man, he says Tony. Hawkeye is Clint. Doctor Strange is Steven. Nova is Richard. And Phoenix Wright is Mr. Wright. I will continue on with the rest of this after we do his ending. From World War II to Galactus and countless occasions in between. For always getting the job done. We salute you, Captain America. Okay, a little bit different than his ending from the original Marvel vs. Capcom 3 to the vanilla version. The vanilla version shows him with the President, and this one shows him with Nick Fury, but it's pretty much the same thing. So as we continue on, we're going to move on to his victory pose quotes. When he defeats Zero, he says, "I knew a guy like you in World War II. He didn't make it either." When he defeats MODOK, he says, "The day I fall to the likes of you is the day I turn in my shield." Spencer, he says, "Doesn't exactly make me happy to take down a fellow soldier." Against all villains except for MODOK and Taskmaster, he says, "Your kind's got no shot, not while I'm around." Thor, "You gods need to learn that the human spirit can accomplish anything." When he defeats Iron Man, he says, "And that was for Civil War." Alongside any two Avengers, he says, "We Avengers will always fight the good fight." When he defeats Taskmaster, "Nothing but a pale imitation." When he defeats Hawkeye, thought I taught you better than that, Clint." Strider Hero, "All skill, no heart, and no victory." Frank West, he says, "Best leave the battles for the soldier's son." And his aftermatch win quotes, which are the little quotes after he wins. When he defeats Crimson Viper, "S.H.I.E.L.D. could use an agent of your skill, one with just a little more training anyway." Thor, "Sometimes men can do extraordinary things, even topple their gods." Mike Haggard, "A true leader would only use violence as a last resort." Iron Man, "There's a reason they called me the first Avenger, and don't you forget it." Hawkeye, "I trained you better than that, Clint." Wolverine, "Looks like they'll let anybody in the Avengers these days, huh, Logan?" His assist quotes, when calling for help, he says, "I need backup." When his assist is finished, he says, "Sorry, soldier." His defeat quotes, when he's defeated by a light attack, he says, "I did my best." And when he loses by time over, he says, "I've let too many people down." When replacing fallen allies, when there's only one ally remaining plus him, he says, "Allow me." And when he has no allies remaining, he says, "For victory." His taunts, he says, "Ready for any fight," and show some respect. So that has been the ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 playthrough of Captain America. I do hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have, do me a little favor to leave me a comment, a like, and please subscribe if you have not already. And as always, I have been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB, and I will see you guys next time when we continue on with our arcade playthroughs in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So until then, Nerds and Geeks, you guys have yourselves a great day.